There it is. Okay, let's take a quick break and let's check out some Charlie. This is a 3-year-old video, but probably still very valid.
Well, in the original Iron Man, he was set up to be War Machine. So Terrence Howard is a very popular actor. He's been in a lot of big things, but the one most people...
All right, so this guy just proved all our math is wrong. So Terrence Howard trying to scam the people of Uganda with his new technology.
Role in Iron Man. He got replaced by Don Cheadle because Terrence said he was really unhappy that he wasn't making as much money as Robert Downey Jr. And
of course you're not making as much money as Robert Downey Jr. You want to know who was making more money than Robert Downey Jr.? No one. He was the face of Marvel. And that's when Marvel movies should have ended, was when Iron Man peaced out. Yeah.
And there's so much to go in here. This is an onion with many layers. Terrence Howard also believes that he has discovered and created his own logic language, which he calls Terryology. He has spent the better part of, I think, about 7 or 8 years, trying to mathematically prove that 1 times 1 equals 2, and that 0 doesn't exist.
What? What? None of that makes sense. Terryology. Terryology. That is a line.
Didn't he say people watched Iron Man because of him? Yeah, he credits Iron Man's success to his role. Yeah, this is the 1 times 1 equals 2 guy. But I always knew... Here. I made that statement, there's no such thing as 0. He looked at me with a puzzled look upon his face, and the professor said, let's say you had an apple, and I had an apple, and you gave me your apple. How many apples do you have? I said, I have 2 apples. He said, you don't understand, you gave me your apple. I said, no, you don't understand. I'm 14 and this is deep shit. As long as you are still inside this universe, whatever you have, I have. Because everything in this universe is connected to everything else. Even if you could take my apple and place it into an adjacent universe, I would still have 2 apples, because as long as the universe is touching this universe, then everything in that universe is still connected to and influenced by every single atom in this universe. Therefore, my giving you my apple is paramount to me transferring my apple from my left to my right hand, because all things are one. So using his own logic language here, he should have no right to be whining about not getting paid as much as Robert Downey Jr.
I wish I could post the Jackie Chan. What? Me just... Huh? The sheer mental gymnastics to prove that just to try to get a 1-up and say 0 doesn't exist, buddy. Listen. Okay, let me do this in bubble terms, okay? Let's do this in bubble terms. Okay? So let's say Luna, thank you for volunteering. And Polly, thank you. Oh, that's Puzzle. Oh, you know what? Puzzle, you volunteered as well. Okay, we have 2 bubbles here, okay? Okay? Why? We have 2 bubbles. 1 bubble on the left, 1 bubble on the right. If we take the bubble on the left, put it on the right, how many bubbles are on the left? 2, because the center of mass is shifted, and now Luna's on the left, now Puzzle's on the left. We still only have 2. We still have 2. We have 1 on the left still. Ha! 0 doesn't exist, everybody. We still have 1 bubble on the left, 1 bubble on the right. Take that. No, you're wrong. The left no longer exists. No, but Luna's on the left. See? Luna's now on the left still. The center is between the 2. Now Puzzle's on the left. All matter is on the right. So the right... Alright, let's get rid of these examples here. But no, that's basically what his explanation was just like, yeah, no, just because there is no left and right, because there is always going to be a left and right. Oh, There we go. Okay, back to the.
Because basically Robert Downey Jr.'s money is his money. That's the argument he makes here. The man is a walking contradiction of his own dog shit logic. Okay, but that was years ago. What? No, he still does this. What? Look, this is from 2 days ago.
Was there for 2 years until I saw that there was an inconsistency
With the math.
there.
Yep.
And so I went out to explore
1 times
a new
1
way
equals 2.
of understanding how the universe works, and I was able to define the grand unified field equation they've been looking for and put it
Those
into
are a lot of big
geometry.
words.
And then with that geometry, I was
Oh
able
my
to
God,
put
he's done it.
props on that. And what I'm saying is now we have invented a new form of flight that I would like to bring here to Uganda to replace the drones, to replace the helicopters,
Oh no, frozen slime. Warm up. In about a month. This guy says that he invented a new math, which means that he has managed to figure out a new form of flight. I got lost very quickly. Me too.
replace the planes in which to build this. Now, this is the geometry of hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
Of hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
This is the proton itself. So any bond that hydrogen can make, our linchpins are able to make. So we're talking about unlimited bonding, unlimited predictable
God, it's like an anime.
structures, supersymmetry. And
So many buzzwords.
Supersymmetry, guys.
are now able to behave as a swarm, as a colony that can
my brain stopped working after the first sentence. The geometry of hydrogen. Hydrogen is not a proton. You. This man is scamming outright. Well, yeah. Honestly, I feel that doctors prefer when you fall asleep with. Honestly, I feel that doctors prefer when you fall asleep, than when you are hysterical. Probably. Does he buy his own nonsense? You have to. That's the thing about these things. You either have to believe your own bullshit, or know how to pretend to believe your own bullshit. I love the look the lady gives him.
defend a nation, that can harvest food, that can remove plastics from the ocean, that
Can do
give
anything.
the
Can fuck your own
children of
wife.
Uganda and the people of Uganda an opportunity without having to have our young men lose their lives.
All thanks to the hydrogen linchpin bonding geometry that he was able to discover. See, I don't know what you're talking about, but that was years ago. He still believes this and does this actively. This was 3 days ago at a conference trying to sell them on a scam. And he also... this was back when I first found him. Where is the... He published a paper on 1 times 1 equals 2. And he posted it on Twitter to get laughed at. Oh, another really interesting thing. This one's more sad than interesting, honestly.
Oh, what's up? Okay.
Terrence Howard, when he was a child, witnessed his dad stab a guy to death at a mall during a Santa Claus showing. They called it the Santa line slaying. I had no idea, but I learned this yesterday. When Terrence Howard was a child, him and his father were in line to sit on Santa's lap, and his dad got into an altercation with another guy. I think his name was Jack Fitzpatrick. They started arguing.
Wait, what's the story about?
Jack Fitzpatrick eventually pushed Terrence Howard's dad against a wall, and then they got broken up, and then Terrence's dad got some sharp object. No one knows whether it was a knife or if someone gave him something or whatever, because there was apparently a story about how a bystander gave him a nail filer to fight back, and he took the sharp object and stabbed him a lot, and he died. And it's called the Santa line slaying. And Terrence Howard is so shameless that he went on Oprah's show and told a complete fabrication of the events that happened, so much so that Terrence Howard's own dad came out and basically just called him a lying clout chaser.
So, Terrence's dad killed somebody in an altercation during a lineup in to go see Santa at the mall. Terrence tried to defend his dad, tried to defend the dad and obfuscate the truth. And even his own dad came out and was like, son, that's not what happened. Stop being a little clout-chasing shithead. I did wrong. You don't have to defend this. That's funny.
Why would you stab someone who you just met? You make it sound like it was at Thanksgiving or something. They got into an argument, and apparently both parties were at fault. They both got rowdy, but Terrence Howard's dad took it much further than the other guy, clearly, and stabbed him to death. All over cutting in line during a Santa Claus event at a mall. Oh, this is also a really cool quote that people always give.
If 1 times 1 equals 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 time itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2 should be 1, but we're not told it's 2, and that cannot be Terrence Howard. Boy doesn't know how to use math.
Thanks for.
Brain hurting.
If 1 times 1 equals 1, that means that 2 is of no value because 1 times itself has no effect. 1 times 1 equals 2 because the square root of 4 is 2. So what's the square root of 2? Should be.
This isn't fuzzy math. This is just free. Please stop torturing chat. No, suffer. This is pain.
1, but we're told it's 2, and that cannot be. Fucking poetry, man.
Absolute
That's so
poetry.
Deep.
This is funny.
This man is traveling through dimensions with this advanced mathematics. That paragraph would fool 60% of Americans into thinking it's accurate. No, you're actually wrong. So, and I understand, like, Americans super dumb, and I've been on Twitter, so I think everyone's kind of fucking dumb to some level. But even Terryology, nobody besides Terry believes in. So Terrence Howard, like I said, has spent the better part of like 7 years.
Yeah. Actual mathematics have been taught to us for years and years and years and years and years. It has been proven correct. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt unable to be disproven. If you have 1 apple, you are given a second apple, you now have 2 apples. If you have an apple and give it to somebody, you have 0 apples. Okay? That's how it works. If you have 0 apples and you must give an apple to somebody, you now are in debt 1 apple. That is how math works. If you take an apple, you split it in half, you have just divided that apple into 2 slices. If you take 4 slices of apple and push them together, you have just multiplied 4 apples together, 4 apple slices, and I think I just broke my own brain with that one little analogy, but you know what? It still fucking works. Wait, hold on. That is correct, though. 2 can't be the square root of 2. I just looked up what a square root is, and also looked up what the square root of 2 is. How is the square root of 2 1.4? So the square root of something is what number, I'm pretty sure, is what 2 numbers multiplied together to give the same number. 2 is not actually a number that can be multiplied by itself to be given a square root. So the square root of 1 is 1. 1 times 1 equals 1. The square root of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 equals 4. If you take 3 times 3, that makes 9. So that means the square root of 9 is 3. The reason why the square root of 2 is 1.41 blah, 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 is because you need to take that number, multiply it by itself to get 2. Yeah, square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. Correct. Yeah. So 1.41421 yada 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 number times that makes 2. Yeah. Let me be perfectly honest. Square roots don't matter for shit. But it's also not like, if the square root of 4 is 2, then that must mean that the square root of 2 is 1, which means that 1 times 1 must equal 2. That's not how that works. Let's see here. That gives you 1.9, a hunch of other 9s, yeah. So yeah, Terrence Howard is just shitting again. Knock my ass off. Yes, exactly. Yeah, no. It is not 2.
Trying to prove his logic language, 1 times 1 equals 2, 0 doesn't exist, all these things. And it's called Terryology. And I believe he even patented it. Nobody, not even his most brainwashed fans, believe in it. They still laugh at him for it, to this day.
Oh, no.
I really want to find the tweet, though, because in his own paper that he published to prove 1 times 1 equals 2, he put in an entire section of fan fiction about the Sky People, the Anunnaki that once indoctrinated us into believing 1 times 1 equals 1, or something, whatever the fuck it was. I need to find that tweet. It was somewhere in these comments. So this is his paper on
It's the people from the Sky People's fault. They made us believe 1 times 1 equals 1. It's not true, you guys. Don't believe the Sky People. Oh no.
Times 1 equals 2. And in this section right here, he starts talking about the Anunnaki Sky People in his own, like, actual published paper to try and debunk incorrect mathematics. Some call them the Anunnaki, the Sky People, whomever they were that gave that naive generation some 6,000 years ago a multiplication table and a flat view of universal geometry. They gave that poor misguided people a false axiom upon which to build their world. A false axiom that
why does everyone always put the Anunnaki into things where they want to grab the alternative belief audience? Like, it's always the Anunnaki.
would behave almost as a bumper for our infantile-like species, a tutor, as it were. A false axiom that would allow for a measure of growth and productivity for that civilization, but would inevitably lead to failure and its inevitable collapse. Unfortunately, the later generations would eventually come to inherit this once thriving Mediterranean metropolis that includes, and not so lucky, entire world. Now, for the last 5,000 or plus years, our ancestors enslaved our thinking with that dogma for generations upon generations, leading down to our great-grandparents, and who,
Charlie,
in like manner, indoctrinated their children, who in turn would help the newly formed system called tradition to propagate this false truth to the rest of the world. This is a paper he published to try and prove 1 times 1 equals 2.
This is a scientific paper, guys. This is technically a piece of science. Oh, couldn't hear me? Whoopsies. Oh, I might have been moved back too much. I apologize. Little did any of us know the Anunnaki are the source of all things and all problems, and the Anunnaki even gave us 6-7. Shit, you right. What did you say just now while Charlie was talking? Oh, sorry. I was thanking Charlie for finding this wonderful, wonderful gift of stupidity. It is pure precious. This is everything I ever wanted.
And that is in the paper. Holy fuck, this guy is based. I'm a Terryologist now.
Oh, no.
Hey, man. Nothing but respect to all the Terryologists out there. He says that 0 doesn't exist. I know. I was just talking about that. He believes that 0 can't exist because all of our universes touch each other, so everything is 1. Which, again, this ties into the idea. Yep. If Terrence really believes that, why not just give away all of his money? Because it'd still be his money. He'd still have his money by his own logic.
Yeah.
Just give it to everyone who commented on this Twitter
post. My brain hurts.
Give it to the Terryologists.
If you believe in Terryology, Terry himself, Terrence Howard, will give you his money. And thus, you will all have money. That universe touched my universe. Reese's universe comes.
100% this is because of a bad acid trip. It's super possible, but I actually think it's probably rooted in something much sadder. Like I mentioned, he watched his dad murder a man in...
I wonder if Terrence Howard is just a scammer or if he actually believes that belief that led him to these conclusions? Like, does he believe in the Anunnaki? No. Or did he just name drop them? Probably just name drop them. Wonder if his intent is that he honestly believes that he thinks he can help people, or if his intent is knowingly scam and harm people. It's probably knowingly scam, but also try to help people. Free cube staring into our souls. I'm almost caught up. Maybe it started as a scam, but took his own medicine and started to believe his own lies. That's probably exactly it. If you lie long enough, you become the lie. Exactly. Hey, Sage.
I mentioned he watched his dad murder a man in line for Santa Claus. Like, that's a traumatizing thing. I think from the get-go, this guy was just kind of fucked.
Yeah, probably.
Hashtag proof. Was that to me? It's a very well-documented thing. Here, it's called the Santa line slang. Happened in 1971, I think. Yeah, 1971. Jack Fitzpatrick, and I believe his dad's name is Tyrone Howard. Yeah, Tyrone Howard. That's a cool origin story. Yeah, I don't know about cool necessarily.
What? True.
But it actually does sound like an origin story out of a comic book.
It would be.
And then he just recently made that statement in Uganda, which actually does sound like a supervillain giving away his plan about how he solved the universal, whatever, grand levitation equation or some shit. Jesus. And how he's using hydrogen bonds for unlimited power, and it'll be a drone, it'll be a plane, it'll clean plastics from the ocean.
Just like it's just the super.
Oh yeah, the hydrogen. I think we're pretty much
at the end of this of that bit of video, but we'll finish this video off, and we'll finish this. We'll finish off the art.
Right.
Anytime
I like his math. I'm pretty sure this doubles my money. Well, it's not your money to begin with. It's Terrence's money. It's all of our money. Read the book on stream and convert the chat to Terryology. Well, the book isn't like... As I understand it, the book is shit like this, where he starts talking about the Anunnaki sky people, and then just throwing formulas all over the place, but getting all of the formulas wrong. Like, endlessly wrong. So it's not exactly like a book to be read. It's more of like a look into lunacy. Like, written out.
It's a look into pure lunacy.
Can you imagine? Imagine 50 years from now, it turns out all of our math was wrong, and they look at Terrence Howard as like a prophet. They look at him as like a genius that wasn't appreciated during his time for his work on 1 × 1 = 2 and 0 not being real. Just imagine.
Wait. If 1 × 1 = 2, then 1 × 2 = 3, and 1 × 3 = 4, to 1 × 4 = 5, 1 × 6 is 7, 8. Congratulations, Terrence. You figured out addition. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you, buddy.
In that universe, in 500 years, we'll have a Terrence statue outside the MIT building. Well, by then we'll already have mastered the the hydrogen proton technology. So we will have flying buildings by then. We won't even use statues. It'll be like hydrogen molds. I actually remember he went on... Was it Good Morning Today? Or it might have been The View. I think it was The View, to talk about Terryology.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, a couple years ago, I did an article for the Rolling Stones, and they said I was crazy because I was telling them that the square root of 2 was a rational number. This is the proof that the square root of 2 is a rational number.
Well, you went to Oxford to present.
What? Now I see it.
About the point where 4 bubbles meet equally and oppositely.
Can I touch it?
Yes, and it's where 12 planes meet. This is an undiscovered geometry that I'm now making known to the world here on this show.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Well, when I was at Oxford...
So how does that prove
I love that geometry.
anything?
We're so upset. Our entire world economy is based on 1 × 1 = 1. So if you can prove that an action times an action equals a reaction, which science proves, then 1 × 1 must equal more than 1. And to have the physical proof of it, that kind of shakes things up a bit.
Well, you're a shaker-upper.
Well, that's the Oxford. I guess they don't like
I think The View, and like maybe just
they're just gassing him up. They're just like, oh, we got a big time person on our channel. He's giving a wonderful little presentation. It might be incorrect, but we're going to be like, you're right, buddy. You went to Oxford and everything for this. You're right. What are we going to say? We can't say anything against this except you're wrong. This is The View, yes. Yeah, he made his own homemade molecules apparently. The guy with the fake alien body made of random grafted together bones who tried to present the body to Congress like this year or last year. Oh, that's happened multiple times, but yeah. For the third time in 10 years. The same fake body. And they keep calling him out for it. What is the content lineup for The View? It's not a science show. No, it's basically a bunch of extremely rich ladies sitting together and either complaining or gassing each other up. That's pretty much The View. Not sure if any self-respecting science show would invite him other than to debate. Yeah, and to debate for fun. Isn't it basically housewife gossip for the most part?
Talk shows in general are one of the most detrimental things to the American household that we've ever had. Second only to like Twitter and shit, I would say. It just platforms absolute insanity. It's wild. Like it's baffling. They don't even bother to even like ask the most general questions like, well, how? Can you prove it? Are you really? They're just constantly sucking.
But yeah, like, the biggest question that should have just been straight up asked was, so how does the shape prove that 1 times 1 equals 2? Or something other than 1? Because all I'm seeing is one shape.
Dick all the time for whatever guest they bring on. Blows my mind.
So here's my question for you, because we were talking about immigration before on the panel, and I'm a child of Italian American grandparents my mother was born here.
Okay, well I guess we're done with Terryology. They steered that topic away real quick.
Oh yeah, they were like, no
Tony
more of that
Stark
topic.
himself taught Terry that 1 times 1 equals 2. Yeah, he should really credit Tony Stark somewhere in this paper, but I don't think he does.
That would have been funny.
No respect.
Aww.
It's just such a fascinating rabbit hole. I implore anyone who likes wild, wacky shit to look into Terryology. I do believe it is patented. Let me double check.
Let me just close out of that. I love that how he claimed that 12 planes meeting is an undiscovered geometry. Yup. It means nothing. I do wish that geometry was magic. Like, would be so much more interesting if we could draw cool shapes and make fire, right? That'd be great.